Alrighty, this is going to be a video that talks about addition. And I know addition is a fairly basic concept, but we're also going to talk about the technicalities of addition. So first of all, we just want to remind ourselves when we're adding two numbers, basically we're going on a number line, such as if I want to add -2 to 6, I'm going to start at -2, and I'm going to move 6 units up my number line. Again, if I'm adding a positive number onto another number, I'm moving right on the number line. So again, -2 plus 6 is going to be 4. If I'm adding a negative number, such as 1 plus -6, or if you think about it as subtraction, again, I'm going to go from 1, I'm going to go left down the number line, 6 units. So 1 to 0 here, and I need to go 5 more, so I'm going to go all the way down to -5. So again, 1 minus 6 being -5. Now, addition has a few technicalities. Again, when we talk about algebra, we need to know what can we do with real numbers. And as far as addition goes, there are 4 addition properties or properties of addition that we want to get to know. The commutative property is the order in which you add two numbers doesn't change the sum. So again, if we're looking at this, and I'm going to kind of scroll our way down, the commutative property, again, just saying that the order in which you add doesn't change the sum. So numbers can basically be switched in places. If you think about commuting, you're actually moving your place. You're moving from one place to another. So 4 plus 5 being 9, same thing as 5 plus 4 also being 9. So again, if we literally move the numbers, we commute the numbers, right? Commutative property, we're switching the order of what we're adding. And again, they could be numbers, they could be variables. There's a lot of ways to commute different things. But again, with addition, it's not going to change the value. A similar property, we're moving something else though, is what's called the associative property. To associate is to sort of group. So the way in which you group 3 numbers, as long as they're all being added together, again, won't change the sum. So notice on the left here, we've got 5 plus 6 in parentheses, and we're adding 4 to it outside. Well, if I move those grouping symbols, if I move those parentheses, I'm reassociating. Now I'm causing the 4 plus 5 to happen first. Then I'm going to add the 6. But either way, on the left, it would have been 11 plus 4 was 15. On the right, it would have been 9 plus 6 is also 15. Because I'm going to get 15 both times, again, the associative property of addition holds. It works. Another property is what we call the identity property. The identity property of addition just says if I add 0 onto anything, 4 plus 0 is 4. It's not going to change my value. That's why we often call 0 the additive identity. The additive identity. Because if we add 0 to anything, it doesn't change its value. It keeps its identity. It doesn't change. As opposed to the inverse property. The inverse property says the sum of a number and its opposite will always give you 0. It's not that we're adding 0 onto it like we did with the identity. We're adding a number to its opposite, like 4 plus -4, getting 0 as an answer. So the sum of a number and its opposite will always give you 0. That's the inverse property. It's almost like you've canceled the number away and brought yourself back to 0, back to what we sometimes call the origin. Hopefully those will help you in your homework a little bit. But again, they're just basic things that we can do as far as adding. Such as if I had taken these numbers, I could have added 6 to -2. Isn't starting at 6 and moving -2, right? Still going to give us 4, just like it did up top here. So again, that would have been the commutative property. We can switch the order and still end up with the same answer. One other small reminder down here at the bottom, again, when we're adding whole numbers and integers isn't usually too technical, but to add fractions, we do want to remember we need our good friend, the common denominator. So again, as I'm looking at these two numbers down here at the bottom, the first thing I notice is my first number is a mixed number. So I'm going to remember I'm going to take 2 times 5 and add that to the top, basically 2 3/5. Well, 2 is the same thing as 10/5. So really grand total, if I add 10/5 to 3/5, 2 3/5 is the same thing as 13/5. But now I want to add that onto -4/9, which means I need that 5 and that 9 to line up. So now I want to say, okay, wait a minute. I need to change 5 by multiplying it by 9. My common denominator with a 5 and a 9, I'm thinking it's 45. So if I multiply top and bottom by 9, same thing, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 5 in my other fraction. That makes 9 times 13 is 117 over 45 plus negative 20 over 45. And 117 plus negative 20 would be 97, right? I'm going to take 117, I'm going to move left 20 units, be 97 over 45. Now, I know the only numbers that go into 45 are 9, 5, or maybe some 3s, right? 3s would have gone into 9. And I'm pretty sure 3 and 5, and therefore 9, right? Those numbers aren't going into 97. You could double check, but I think that's as reduced as we can get. You can leave your numbers in improper fraction. I'm not worried about mixed numbers. In algebra, again, improper fractions are just as good as anything else. If you have any questions about any of that, make sure you talk to your teacher. Otherwise, have a great day.